Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Maria. I usually do different types of videos on my channel. I usually do covers. This is my first story time that I'm going to do. I just had an experience about 2 weeks ago and I just thought I'd share it with you guys. And this is going to be a story about how I stayed at a haunted hotel. So it all started because me and my best friend wanted to stay in a hotel downtown for my 22nd birthday. So we were online looking at hotels that were cheap, clean, stuff like that. And we ran into a hotel that was what we were looking for. So we decided to book it and then head over there the next day. This happened on a Tuesday. We get there and honestly it's a really nice hotel. It looks clean, it looks elegant. From the lobby was really elegant. I really liked the lobby. So when I get to the receptionist area, I tell them we have a reservation, and she's like, oh, okay, so your room's going to be on the 10th floor. So then we decided to head up all the way up there, and there was 12 floors, I believe, in the hotel. And honestly, I'm not a fan of heights, so even being in the elevator kind of creeped me out, like, originally. So I was scared already by that. But, I didn't let that ruin the day or anything. Like, I just let it, whatever. I didn't care about it, honestly. And we head up to the 10th floor. We get ready. We do all these things. Nothing happened. Nothing out of the ordinary. I didn't notice anything. The only thing was, like, it felt like it was really empty. Like, when you're in a hotel, you usually see people coming in or out of their rooms, or even in the lobby, or even in the hallways, stuff like that. But I literally only saw like 3 people the whole time that I was there. I saw like 2 coming into the elevator, and then one person walking down the hallway. Like, I didn't notice any other people besides that. And then obviously the housekeeping people. It was later on in the day and we were getting ready for bed. We were watching TV and then we decided to go to sleep. Sorry. We decided to go to sleep, and the beds were really comfy. I honestly really liked the room. Like, it was so cute. I like staying there. I didn't feel like anything. I didn't feel weird or anything, so it was nice. We decided to go to sleep, and then we just woke up the next morning. The next morning, my friend was like, my best friend, her name's Alina. Alina was like, how did you sleep last night? And I was like, oh, I slept fine, I just think the neighbors were being kind of loud at some point, so it woke me up. She's like, we don't have any neighbors. And I was like, I thought we did. She's like, well, yeah, we have some on, I think it was, yeah, the left side, of the room, but not the right. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I thought we had neighbors on both sides, of the room. But no, apparently we didn't. I think we had some on the left side, but like they had left early or something. I don't know. And so I was like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah. I was like, well, I woke up in the middle of the night to like little kids talking. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, literally, like, I woke up in the middle of the night because I heard 2 little kids talking, but I just ignored it because I was like, oh, it's the neighbors being loud. The neighbors have kids. Maybe they're being loud. I was just coming up with stuff in my head. I was like, me and my friend were being a little bit loud the night prior with our music, so maybe they woke up early and they were being a little bit more loud. Or maybe their kids just talk loud. I don't know. I didn't know I don't know. When I heard those voices, I didn't check the clock because the clocks were off in the room. Like, I didn't really care to turn it on or anything because I had my phone and I can just check the time on there. So I ignored it when I heard it, but I assume it was like 5 in the morning because it was still dark. But I was like half awake because, like I said, I just kind of ignored it, I guess. So then she's like, when she said we don't have any neighbors on the other side, I was literally shook. And then, I told her more. I'm like, well, it was either I heard like 2 little kids whispering either on the other side of the wall behind my bed or like near the window. And I was sleeping next to the window. So there was 2 queen size beds in the in the room, and mine was closest to the window and hers was closest like to the door. And so I was like, oh well, I heard these whispers, but in my head I'm like, there's no way that they were coming from outside, because outside we're on the 10th floor and I don't think I'm gonna hear whispers from all the way up here, you know? And then our windows were closed too, so there's no way I could have heard whispers, you know, from outside. I don't know, it just didn't make sense. But honestly, I blew it off because I was like, it's just the neighbors. That was my thought the whole time. The whole time. So then I ignored it. My friend kind of ignored it too. She joked around. She's like, oh, it's probably a ghost. But you know, we were just joking around and just left it at that. Like, we didn't think much of it because it was only me and her staying in a hotel room. And honestly, stuff like that can be scary. So we didn't really pay much attention to it. We kind of ignored it and then just went on with our day. My best friend is actually from Michigan, so she comes to visit me and then she goes back home. On the day she went back home, she texted me the next morning and she's like, look at this, you know? And she sent me a screenshot saying that the hotel that we stayed at was one of the most haunted places in Illinois. Yeah, I was honestly, like, my heart dropped because I didn't even know what to think. You know, we were joking around, oh, it was maybe a ghost. And honestly, I'm into paranormal stuff, and I know a lot of people don't believe in that kind of stuff, and that's totally fine with me. I respect your opinion. But I don't know. That's crazy. So then I was like, yo, like, are you serious? So then I went online and I started looking stuff up to see, you know, what was going on with the hotel. And that's literally what I found. I found out just more information about how haunted it is, and I was like, I didn't want to believe it. And when we booked the room, we had no idea. Like, we didn't look into the background of the hotel because, you know, we saw pictures of the room and outside of the hotel, and we're like, no, like, it looks fine. To me, it didn't look scary. And even when we walked into the hotel room itself, it didn't look scary either. The only thing that scared me was being on the 10th floor. That was literally the only thing, but that's just me because I'm scared of heights, you know. Besides that, nothing else was really scary to me. I looked into it, and this is when we can get into the details of the history of the haunted hotel. The hotel is called the Congress Hotel. It opened in 1893, but it wasn't actually a hotel. It became a hotel in 1908. Like, it was used for other things. It wasn't a hotel, you know, when it originally opened. So in 1908, it officially became a hotel. When they built it, the first section was the North Tower, and then the second section was the South Tower. And the South Tower was built between 1902 and 1907. So a lot of famous people actually stayed at the hotel, including a lot of presidents. At some point, it actually became known as the home of presidents because so many presidents would stay there. It was like a really popular place, especially because it was, you know, in downtown, and it's like easy access since, you know, all the activities are pretty much in downtown. So I think that's why a lot of people stayed there. There is 871 guest rooms and suites in total. Over the years, it has become one of the most haunted places in Chicago, like I stated before, and that's just crazy to me. You know, I have always wanted to investigate haunted places, and not knowing that I was actually going to sleep in one for my 22nd birthday, so that's fun. No, that's actually scary. Like, low-key, it's scary. So there's experiences that people have, but there's stories as to why people think it's haunted. So I'll tell you a couple of stories, and I think one of them makes more sense as to what I experienced, and you might think it's not that scary, but honestly to me it is a big deal because I experienced it by myself. You know, my friends didn't hear them, the voices, it was only me. So one of the stories that people say is that gangster Al Capone was said to have lived in the hotel, and he would have his business meetings in there. So now people have reported that they see him roaming the hallways. So that's one story. Yeah, another story is about Peg Leg Johnny. He was a homeless person who was said to have been murdered in the hotel. He turns the lights on and off. He opens drawers or doors and stuff like that. So he's not like a scary ghost. He's more like, you know, a prankster. If they see someone roaming the hallways, they think it's El Capone because he was there for a long time. And then if they notice the lights go on or on and off, they think it's Peg Leg Johnny. You know, they have like stuff to go off of. Other stories, or I feel like are the most scary to me, I guess. So in room 441, there's a lot of paranormal activity in that room. So like they hear knocking, and most guests who stay in that room report seeing like a shadowy figure of a woman, and that's the room that has received the most calls from guests due to strange occurrences. So it's intense. I'm kind of glad I didn't stay in that room, honestly. The last story is the story that I feel like my experience relates most to. I'm not saying it is what happened, but that's my thought on it. It's just everything kind of leads to that, you know, to this last story that I'm going to tell. And I don't know, I just think it's the most relatable. So out of all those things, the 12th floor is supposedly the worst out of the whole hotel. On that floor, there is said to be a room that is literally locked, so no one can go in there. Like, no one has access to that room. And on the 12th floor, there were said to be some murders that happened. An immigrant mother was really depressed, and she had a lot of other issues going on. So on the 12th floor, this happened in like, I want to say in the 1930s. So on the 12th floor, she was in the 12th floor with her 2 kids, and her kids were 4 and 6, I believe. And she decided to push them out of the window. So she pushed them and killed them, and then she also jumped. Honestly, that's the story that I think my experience relates to, because the voices that I heard were near the window. I mean, my bed was next to the window, so I think it could have possibly been the 2 little boys, because it sounded exactly like 2 little boys. I'm just amazed that my friend didn't hear them. I don't know if it's like a sign that they want me to pray for them. I don't know. It's just crazy. And another thing is that there was like a bedside table next to our beds, and in the top drawer of that table there was a Bible in there, and that drawer kept opening and opening and opening by itself. You know, I kept trying to close it and it wouldn't close. It just kept opening and opening, and I just pushed it off, you know. Oh, it's nothing. Maybe the door is just like broken or something, I don't know. So I just ignored it. But in the morning when we woke up, the drawer was open again, and the Bible was sitting in there. And it just kind of gives me the chills, because it's like, is this a sign or something? I'm the type of person who believes a lot in signs and what things are trying to show me, and I don't know, to me this was like a sign of maybe they want me to pray for them. You know, they're not evil spirits or anything. They didn't do anything to me or my friend, and I'm thankful for that. You know, the circumstances of their death could be why they're haunting the hotel. I'm just surprised that that happened to me. And then another thing too is, me and my friend needed ice because we wanted to drink something, so the ice machine is on the 11th floor. So we had to go to the 11th floor, and I remember it kind of gave me like an eerie feeling, because I don't know, I mean, it was, like I said, I'm already originally scared of heights, so going up to the 11th floor was like, this is too much. But when we got out of the elevator, like right away, I just had like this feeling. I was like, yo, like Alina, like we need to get out of here. Like this is a place where someone gets murdered, you know? And I said that in like a joking way, but it was honestly like a sketchy floor. I'm not even kidding. You know, all the rooms were blocked off with like wood, and it was just like a dark hallway. I don't know, I did not feel comfortable in that hallway. So my friend got the ice and then we left. She doesn't like elevators, so we decided to take the stairs. There was no one in the 11th floor, right? It was only me and her because all the doors were like blocked off. So we decided to take the stairs, but when we took the stairs, I was behind my friend, and like I literally just felt like a presence behind me. Like when I shut the door, you know, from the stairs, I literally felt like a presence was behind me. And so I kept checking my back. I was just scared. But then we got to the room safely and we shut the door, you know, we locked it. And there was only like a lock where you put the card in, which is technically the key, you know. But there is another lock through the inside, so that's what I used. I was like, it's not because I'm scared of, you know, of if there's an entity or whatever. I'm just scared that anybody can barge in, so I locked the door. Which I think that was a good idea. Like, you guys have to stay safe no matter what, you know. Better safe than sorry, always. It's just scary. Honestly, I had a lot of fun though for my 22nd birthday. I would do it again. Maybe not on the 10th floor, but I would probably still go to the hotel again. I mean, I feel like the entities aren't really hurting anybody, at least from what I experienced. And I didn't know I was haunted. Neither did my friend. We found out afterwards. But I'm just glad that we had a good time either way, you know, that we didn't let that ruin our time together. We didn't let that ruin my birthday. It was fine. We got through it, and I think it's just like an experience to learn from. And you know, I had a good time, so I'm kind of glad that I was able to go, and I'm glad that my friend was with me throughout this whole thing. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know if you guys want me to keep doing story times or what type of videos you want me to do. I want to thank you guys for supporting me. Even though we only have literally like 30 subscribers or whatever, that means a lot to me. That to me is literally like 30 million. That to me means a lot.